There is no structure for today, but a real, genuine conversation about negative and positive mindsets and how the way you surround yourself and your environment affects that. Welcome back to the Family First Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Heather Blake. So, I really was thinking about this because I am in some communities online and some in real life where you have the ones that are super positive, everyone's egging each other on, or is it egging each other on? I don't think that's quite right, but like you're pumping each other up, and it's like, hey, how can I help you? Great, can I have feedback on this? And you're all going back and forth in such a positive, constructive manner. Then you have other environments where there's people knocking each other down, and it is, oh, did you see what this one posted? Can you believe it? This and that. No wonder this, no wonder that. And those things can have a major effect on the way you feel. It can also, over a period of time, have effect on your mindset. So the communities that I'm in recently just really got me thinking about having those people, those like-minded people to have conversations with and to bounce ideas off of, and things like that can really just affect you. So I wanted to talk about that for a couple of reasons. One, it can affect the way you feel as a person and in your life. Two, it can affect the way you feel about your business. Or three, it can affect the way you actually carry out your business. Like if you have a membership or a community of any kind, and how that could affect you. So really, let's start with your life. If you have negativity, you've heard that statement, negativity breeds negativity, and it is true. It is one of those things that cuts through and pulls you down, even if you're trying not to. So that's why often when you hear people talk about get in the room of the people that you want to become, if you haven't heard that, they're talking about so someone wants to make $1 million, they say get in the room with the people that are already making $1 million, because their mindset has got them to that point. And so by being in the room with them, that helps you bring your mindset up. Whereas if you are in a place where everything is negative, then that is bringing your mindset down. And it's also helping, if you believe in manifestation or not, it is having somewhat of some manifestation powers with you. So if you are in a room with a bunch of millionaires, now obviously we're not all getting into a room with millionaires here, all of us, on an everyday basis either, maybe here or there. But if you get in that room with those people, or subconsciously be that fly on the wall in that room, you start believing the things that they're doing, and you start believing that those things are possible because you see it happening. But if you were to be in the room, either on the fly on the wall or actually there, in the room with the people that are negative, that starts pulling down your thoughts of what you can achieve or who you can be or what you can do. So if you are with a group of friends who are constantly chatting about what the other girls on the opposite side of the room are doing or feeling or wearing, and you're judging them or, feeling inferior to them, and that brings you down. That brings you down in your life, and then eventually will have that effect on your business as well. Most likely it's going to have an effect on the way you do everything. So that's really, really, really why I wanted to have this conversation. So when people are talking about positive versus negative mindsets, often people are using all these examples and all these tools of things that you can do to turn from negative to positive. And yes, there are tools that you can use, like different mantras and things like that. But I find the biggest one is who you are surrounding yourself with, both in like virtual as in also in real life. So if in business, if you are constantly listening to the people that are saying that this is not possible or this is not possible, or you're following those unrealistic gurus, talking about hustle and this and that and just jump on this trend and it will be fine. And you're having these really high expectations for these things that really are not feasible, especially right now, that kind of day where things that were so easy has gone. That day where you could do something like that digital marketing, where you jumped on it and you immediately made a lot of money, but you were probably not selling something that was really legit. You were the one selling the rights to the course of the person selling the rights to the course to the person selling to the rights to the course of. But yet, when you start following things like that, it affects your mindset because your expectation is so high based off of their clickbait, basically. And your mindset goes from positive so quick to negative so quick because it's not realistic. And that has effects on it too. So by putting yourself in that room virtually with other business people that are having unrealistic expectations or false promises, clickbait, things like that, you are basically doing the same thing as hanging out with people who are negative all the time because their positivity is false or fake. So I really want you to watch out for that kind of thing. Realize what is actually possible and what is not actually possible. Now, we as human beings want to protect ourselves. So sometimes we, like step back or hesitate on things that we feel like, okay, I really want to do this, but I'm a bit afraid of failing, or I'm a bit afraid of, saying the wrong thing to the wrong person, or I'm a bit afraid. But at the same time, we as human beings so wholeheartedly want to believe in people. So we are afraid of doing things ourselves, but we want to believe wholeheartedly in others. And so we have the mindset, oh, they must be telling me the truth. But unfortunately, that's not always the case. So I want you guys to really, 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 really watch out for that, because those false positive people are just as bad as the negatives. And I see this a lot in online education when it comes to, those digital marketers. And even in somewhat in people promoting, I guess it's also digital marketing, but that like the UGC journey and how you do UGC, which if you don't know what that means, that's user generated content. But so really, I want you to make sure that there's positivity and that you are like recognizing who the right people are and who are not the right people to attach yourself to or be around, to be that fly on the wall around. And if someone doesn't feel right to you, listen to your gut and walk away. And I know that we all have a friend out there who is that negative Nelly. And I'm not saying stop being friends with them, but I might possibly be saying stop being friends with them. More so what I'm actually saying is to distance yourself from that everyday negativity. So maybe you have a messenger chat or a text message thread, group thread, and you just silence it. So you just check it when you have the time, when it's not in your business life. Like if you're working, You don't want that negative aspect to come in and dampen your spirits and your mindset. So just know when and where to cut that out. Now, the last thing I really want to touch on, this is going to be a quick one today, is if you have a community or a membership of any kind where people interact with each other, just to be conscious of the way people interact, whether it be by setting rules and then sticking to those rules or whatever it is. Maybe you need a moderator to help you if you don't have the time to do it. Maybe you have to put on post approval, things like that. But I want you to be conscious of this. Because as soon as people start having negative thoughts about somebody in your work, in your group, community, membership, whatever it is, the negative thoughts start to spread. It's like when one person yawns, then the next person yawns, and now that I'm talking about it, I want to yawn. But you understand what I mean. So one person starts being negative, and then it's contagious. Everyone starts feeling that negativity. And before you know it, your membership is infected with negativity. So I really just want you to be conscious of that. When we have positive mindsets, it allows us to accomplish a whole lot more. It allows us to be in the right frame of mind to accomplish more. It allows us to be in the right frame of mind to believe that what we are creating or doing will have a positive outcome. So I'll see you guys next week on the Family First Entrepreneur Podcast.